So I'm joined today by Fernand Rainville. He's the director of Bon Voyage, an incredible 60-minute whimsical journey with performing artists from the Cirque Eloize that's on now at the historic Dalhousie Station in Old Montreal. So welcome, Fernand.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Thanks. It's nice to meet you. So let's start off right away by telling me a little bit about yourself. What has been your journey in becoming a director in this field?
Well, circuses, I've been doing circus work for the last almost 20 years now. About 18, 20 years. Yeah, that was the last time. But before that, I came to Montreal. I'm originally from Sudbury, Ontario. And I came to Montreal to do an actor's training at the National Theatre School. And then from the acting, I wasn't getting the work I thought I deserved. I was getting all the small parts and all the things that I just felt like, wow, I don't want to spend my life on that. So I started directing. And so I did about 20 years in theater. And then now it's close to 20 years in as with circus.
So I must say, I saw the show last week. I was very impressed for a number of reasons. I love circus, I love performing arts, I love Montreal and Quebec and its historical roots. So tell us, what inspired you to produce Bon Voyage?
Well, the Cirque Eloize had this project about, telling people about the story of the Dalhousie train station, which was the first one built in Montreal to accommodate the Confederacy. Basically, there was for Johnny McDonald there was an urgency to get the train built because the United States had eyes on British Columbia, and British Columbia had joined the Confederacy, but only if they had a train that would get through the Rockies and join with the rest of Canada. So that was the plan of Eloise. And anyhow, they reached out to me in April and said we have this show to do for about an hour and try to work around what is the situation, what is the historical uh, sense what is going on in Montreal when this was being built, and I
Right.
found that absolutely that research absolutely thrilling. To find out about what it was like here in this city about 125 years ago.
Well, not only was the show thrilling, as you just mentioned, but the venue, being in the very place where that railway started. And as a passionate Montrealer, I never knew about the Dalhousie station, and I'm sure that many Montrealers do not know about it. So it's such an important place within the history, not only of Montreal and Quebec, but the entire country, as you're mentioning. So it gave a real extra bonus for that show to be located right in that place. I must say. So tell us for now, what was the most rewarding experience for you in putting together the show? What really stands out for you in that way?
Well, it's sort of like documentary circus, which is a new type of approach to storytelling in the circus world, where we usually, well, we don't work with so much documents and so much words and so on. So it's not, the storytelling is always more on a poetic and emotional level. And now all of a sudden I'm trying to incorporate in this work the work of the theater performance. So we have a very emotional love story, and we also have an historical context, which give us, but that period of time, it's the industrial revolution is such an important part of what became the 20th century. With the whole telegraph idea is the beginning of worldwide communications. It's what's tied the world together. It's the beginning of electricity, of the invention of Tesla, of Edison. All it's the beginning of an opening and of modernité, of the future. The future lies within the end of the 19th century. That's where the beginning of everything really starts and takes us away from civilization that is basically more agricultural or agricultural. So I guess in a way that I guess that's what I found the most thrilling was going into that and trying to develop some type of new form.
Well, Fernand, not only are you a creative and very talented director in the performing arts and a creator of really magnificent content, but I guess you can add to your long list of achievements, historian, because really you brought the history of our city and our country to a new form of artistic expression here, which is really quite magnificent. I only wish that school children could come and see that show, and maybe you'll bring it back one day for them as well, or Cirque Eloize might do so. But tell us, what do you want people to remember when they leave that performance? What should they take home with them?
Well, there's a sense of history which I think we don't pay enough attention to what the past is about. You know, we can learn so much, and we probably wouldn't do as many mistakes if we took a look at history once in a while, and it became part of our curriculum, or it became part of the vastness and richness of who we are. We need to understand where we come from if we want to move ahead and not redo the same mistakes over and over again. And it's very interesting when we just went through a pandemic, and then the show is about a period in time where there was a pandemic in Montreal, and we reacted very much the same way as we did back then. So there are lessons in history, and I hope that in a way some people take a bit of that with them, and also a sense of who we are in the big picture. I guess that was part of the what I wanted to get across. You know.
Well, that's terrific. The show continues through August the 12th. It's put on by Cirque Eloize. It's down at the Dalhousie Station in Old Montreal, and you can go. Our listeners can, our viewers can go onto the website of Cirque Eloize. The link is below in my blog. For now, I want to thank you for joining me today. It's really been a thrill to meet you.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. It was nice meeting you too.